They can be in this at any moment. They just gotta up their mental game, let their talent speak.
Amazing placement. What a shot.
That was a Yahtzee overhead.
Aspect of mental toughness here that's just different.
I like the body language of all four players.
Oh, look at that shot! Great hands from Kiro.
Hello and welcome to the 2023-24 APTA Tour presented by Volley. We are live from the Country Club in Brookline, Massachusetts, bringing you the 2024 APTA Boston Nationals presented by Aon. Boston Nationals is the 16th and final stop on the 2023-2024 APTA Tour, with live streaming brought to you by the APTA membership, the APTA national sponsors, Volley and Fusion, and local sponsors, Aon, Santo Tequila, and local sponsors, Bully Boy Distillers, Columbus Overgroup, Viega and Kilgore Team, Hillary Maddox Team, Crestwood Advisors, DraftKings, FBE Insurance Services, Inc., Harpoon, Needham Bank, Norfolk and Dedham Insurance, Pure Insurance, UBS, WAC, and Winstanley Enterprises. I am Anthony Casamano, along with Guy Moore, bringing you the men's semifinals.
How you doing, Anthony?
How are you, Guy? We have the number 4 seeds, Juan Arraya and Graham McNerney, versus the number 2 seeds, Guillermo Nunez and Mark Powers. Welcome, Guy. We see our players warming up at the on the court with our umpire today, Peter Espo, in the chair. Would you go through the introductions on the court for us, Guy?
I would love to. First of all, I'll be short and quick, but I mean, what a day of paddle at the Country Club in Brookline, Mass. I mean, just amazing, all the matches and the length of matches. But on our bottom right, just serving there, we have Juan Arraya in the gray sweatshirt, white pants, and the lime green sweatband, black attire. Graham McNerney, his partner. Across the net to our top left, Guillermo Nunez, and his partner, Mark Howard. So, this is going to be a great matchup. I'm interested to see how this match goes. Is it going to go fast or slow? I think we'll know kind of quick, but I believe it's going to be a bit of both, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing myself, Guy. We're kind of have our left eye on the other match that's going on, the Durant match with Salazar and Regalado over there, and it is like a chess game, slow, slow, slow. I don't know if these guys on this court have that approach to the game. I think Mark Powers likes to play a little quicker. I think Juan Arraya likes to play faster, but we also have Nunez and we have Graham McNerney on the court, and they've been known to be very patient, so we'll see who's going to take over.
Well, think about the quarters, right? Powers and Nunez, I don't want to say breeze through theirs, but I mean a lot less time than it took for Arraya and McNerney, and it's this time of the year. I mean, we're in nationals. I mean, it's no secret. Everyone's gonna grind it out as much as they can. I mean, this is the biggest tournament of the year, and I tell you what, the talent in this tournament this year exceeds anything I've ever seen.
Yeah, for sure. And we've that's been the buzz around the campus here, I guess I'll call it, for the whole tournament, is these younger, newer guys. Their learning curve has been exponential. You see guys like Nunez and Salazar and Regalado that have learned the game and changed the pace of the game. With a mix of patience and maturity and attack shots. It's just been crazy, and it's been great for the sport, and people here are kind of glued to our screens and glued to the courts out there watching what's going to happen next.
Yeah, it's interesting. In the last 3 years, I'll call it 3 years, the game went really. I'll let the chair speak a little bit and then back into it again. Yeah, real quick, Anthony. You know, in the past 3 years, I mean, the game went all transitional, and then with these newer players, I mean, let's talk about them specifically. Guillermo Nunez, Alvi Regalado, Jose Salazar. These guys have not been playing paddle that long, but they're all in the semifinals of the Nationals of our biggest tournament of the year, and they've studied the game, they know the game, but they are a hybrid of what old school was and new school is. So they're able to play both ways. They know when to slow it down, they know when to speed it up. So it's made the game really, really cool. And I have to tell you, so much fun to watch.
It's absolutely fun to watch. It's like I said, outside we hear cheering going on out there, and people like the chess part of this game, and they like the attack part of this game. So all these guys out here can do that. We have one national champ on on each side of the court today. We have Juan Arraya, who was a 2019 national champ with Mark Parsons, beating one of the two players here, Hughes and Powers, 7-5 in the third set in that national. And then, of course, you have Mark Powers, who was a 2018 national champ with his partner Hughes, and a multiple-time national finalists, last 2023 and 2022 and 2021 he lost in the semis. So these guys are have a good balance on each side of the court with experience, and we'll see if Nunez and McNerney can hold their own, which I'm sure they will. But we are on the biggest stage here. I'm not sure if I heard the flip of the coin or the spin of the paddle yet, but we're into the match.
And I don't, what just happened there, I think it's going to happen a lot with Graham and Arraya switching in the backcourt. I mean, Graham controls the tempo of the match so well with his lobs. And after watching him play so much this year, what he does so well in the backcourt is he blocks a lot of balls off the deck. So he speeds up the point when he's not even trying to speed up the point.
Right.
You'll see it. Watch. There's not a lot of balls that go to the screen with him. They switch, and that move is good. That's where they're best. But already, Graham, not one ball to the wire. And Nunez, I was watching him warm up. He was hitting a ton of balls at the deuce side and then crushing one with tons of spin to the ad side. I'm wondering if that pattern's going to continue a little bit. Just even from the warm up. I mean, lefty righty, they're going to have to switch like they did there, obviously, and then. But for Arraya and McNerney, this is how they play the best. And again, look how many balls McNerney blocked.
Yeah, he's not. And it'll be interesting to see McNerney's approach to blitzing against this team. Because I know, Nunez is, if anything, early on in his success, he's a touch player. He's a good volleyer. He closes the net. He's got a good visibility of the court. I'm interested to see if McNerney will challenge him.
Yeah, McNerney will surprise you. He will surprise you when you're talking about blitzes from McNerney. I mean, for a really tall guy, he's got exceptional hands. And not only does he have exceptional hands, but his forehand volley is from behind. His right side is one of the best in the game.
Yeah.
But he will surprise you when you're least expecting it. He will come in behind it. But McNerney's from the baseline, always looking to set up offense to his lob. And he's always looking for that hard backside to his forehand, and then it's go time. But there's no doubt that Arraya and McNerney's success revolves around Araya's energy and McNerney's so many different partners this year, but he's always been successful because he does all the basics well.
Yes.
But more importantly, he lobs so good.
No, you're absolutely right. He does the basics well, and he's a smart player. You know, I think we saw where Juan can get very emotional and and can tend to, you know, get off track every once in a while. McNerney is rock solid in that regard, and I think it'll help balance Juan out, as you know, a lot of Juan's previous partners have not been able to, well, have struggled with balancing him out. But I think this partnership works in that way.
Yeah, so there's the ball I was talking about with McNerney. That's the ball off the backside.
Go there. I haven't seen that shot from him.
Well, you know, Nunez loves to come forward, and his forehand's big, and you know, you got two huge forehands in the middle with Powers, one of the best forehands in the game in the middle, and
so,
you know, you got Nunez who holds the ball so well.
I don't know if you noticed it like I noticed it, Guy, but and I'm sure you did. The last two confusing, those two overheads that Juan was expecting McNerney to hit. In both situations, they've given up the net on those shots, and in the most recent one, Arraya looked at that was your ball, and it clearly wasn't his ball. So I don't know if they've changed their scheme at the net and they're confusing themselves, or it was just a one-off or a two-off at this point.
You know, yeah, you're right. I just think it's them working their way into this match after, what was it, 3.5 hours the previous match?
Yeah, yes.
I mean, there's not enough showers that can make you feel better after that. And you hear the communication with McNerney. He knows he's going to lob. He calls Juan back. Again. These guys look fresh, though, Anthony. They look fresh. Even though they had a long match, they look fresh. I like it.
Well, how long was the match in Short Hills? Didn't McNerney have a similar situation? Yeah, they had a similar situation.
And then they're in Chicago.
That was one.
Same thing. I mean, these guys bounce back.
So Mark Powers has missed a few shots. I think he's still working his way into this. We won't see him. He missed a couple of drives and one of his slash overheads, but
yeah. In the last slash he missed, I 100% agree with it. I mean,
yes.
And the reason these guys start the backcourt and return in a certain place and then switch is because, I'm going to state the very obvious, they feel better returning from that side. But
right.
Then they simply switch. When I was watching Guillermo Nunez warm up, he was practicing that shot over and over again.
Okay. Great hands there too.
switch quickly. When Nunez gets the ball off his front foot, you'll see him spin it ridiculously with that lefty. So you got two players with powers spinning it like that, and you'll see Nunez doing the same from the left-hand side. It's a lot of pressure. And again, look at McNerney. He's blocking probably 50 to 60% of every ball that's hit to him.
Yeah, I think he's going to test Nunez's ability to go up. Not the tallest player on the court, so I think taking a little bit time away from him to try to see if they can catch him closing, and then.
And that miss by McNerney, you just don't see much. That's the indecision. I mean, if you're going to hit it, hit it. If not, do what you do best, Graham. Lob it. He's so good at dictating play by his lob. And you said earlier, Anthony, you know, in terms of partners for Juan Arraya, I mean, Parsons was a great partner for Arraya. Thing is, the more you play with somebody, the more teams learn how to play you. But McNerney's played with so many people this season and been so successful because of what he's doing right now. He knows what he's good at, and he knows where he's not going to give you freebies or mistakes. And he's Anthony, let me tell you about our sponsor. Aon is so proud to be a title sponsor of the APTA Nationals. Aon exists to shape decisions for the better. We provide our clients with advice and risk and human capital solutions that give them the clarity and confidence to make better decisions to protect and grow their business. Aon is in the business of better decisions.
And a very interesting sponsor and partner for us in Aon, because as we talk about making good decisions, I mean, what's the single biggest factor of platform tennis is high percentage play and making the right choice at the right time. And you talk about McNerney's ability to be, he's better than 99% of us, but he's more of a support player. But he's such a smart support player that he dictates the ability of his partners to hit their favorite shots. And his ability to make the right decision, put the ball in the right spot, is really top level.
I tell you what, I'm going to call out one of our fellow commentators who I love dearly, Mike Raleigh. He said it best. McNerney's a chameleon. He can play with anybody because he does and plays within himself so well. I love that description from Mike.
Yeah.
And it's so true. I mean, for all those watching out there, McNerney and Arraya won the Charities, which is the second biggest tournament of the season, beat Durant and Mitchell. I mean, just a great match. And
McNerney missed that last volley, which is what he waits for all day. He was on top of the net. Powers just really caught a good nick that went right into his paddle.
Yeah, so right now, Anthony, this tempo probably does not favor Arraya McNerney. They like to play slower and let Arraya get into the mix and dictate a little quick. And the only reason I mention it is because you got to recognize it where you make some adjustments sooner than later. And you can see how far Nunez is over there. Look where he is. He's over the hash mark, almost baiting him to go to his right so he can move the ball back to Powers' forehand, which is one of the biggest weapons on the court.
see. He's absolutely baiting that shot, and he has the ability. He's a quick player. He can step in 2 quick steps to his right, to his left, and he's going to make you pay for that shot.
Yeah, it's a whole game of baiting.
It is.
And the interesting thing too is when he's playing that far over, he's only looking for one ball, and that's the ball to his right. He's looking for the ball in the middle. He's already there.
Yes. I'll draw a little bit of a comparison to the way I played. I played very similarly. I'm a lefty. I like to look for that backhand. I like to give my opponents at the time give them a little false sense that there's some room over there. And yeah, if I'm standing in the middle of the court, they're gonna hit it to the other side of the court. And he's waiting to jump on it. He's only looking for that one ball.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that because you're exactly right. After playing about 500 matches against you, I mean, your forehand wasn't a liability, but your backhand was the weapon, and you're always looking to bait somebody to hit it there, right?
Exactly.
Same with Nunez.
And in some ways, just waiting for the one shot eliminates a lot of the other noise that creeps in paddle. Should I do this? Should I look for that? If the ball comes to this side, am I going to drive it? Am I going to lob it? So when you're very singularly focused on what you're looking for, and Powers is going to do his job, he's going to hit his forehand when it gets there, it really makes it easy. It's just on and off. That ball drops in and drive it.
So let me ask you a question. You're really saying you're only looking for one side at a time, right?
Yes.
And I think so many players look for both sides all the time, and that's where the indecision comes in and the mistakes come in. I mean, when you're baiting somebody to hit it to your backhand, you're lobbing your forehand. If you're baiting them to hit it to your forehand, you're lobbing your backhand.
Exactly.
And Anthony, I wouldn't be surprised to see this match slow down because, I mean, Arraya McNerney just came off a huge match, long match. And, you come out, you warm up, but it still takes you a couple games to dig in and get back to that mental thought process you were in to win a big match like that.
For sure. And we've seen Juan do that. We've seen Juan Arraya get, play fast, and then realize he's got to slow it down and realize one method's not working. He has to switch to another, and so he'll adjust. He's been here before.
And not only that, McNerney's a great partner for him in terms of communicating. They got a great rapport with one another.
Just deep.
I'll tell you one thing, though, Anthony. McNerney and Arraya don't want to spot them a set.
Yeah. Yeah, mentally coming off of 1-3 setter.
Great serve. Great serve. Nice serve, buddy. Let's go. Get him up.
And you can see Nunez and Powers. I mean, they're not spinning much at all here. They're just hitting their spots. They know McNerney is not going to hurt them off the deck very much like that. It's a medium pace ball. Where McNerney hurts you is they're switching here, which I agree with. But if you go hard into his backside, that's when it's a problem.
Yeah, they lobbed 2 balls out that game.
Anthony, let me tell you about volley. Volley would like to thank the APTA the tournament host clubs, players, and pros for an amazing 2023-24 season. With over 1.3 million balls thrown this year, Volley creates a community to connect the pros, players, while giving users personalized performance insights to track progress and improve their game. Download the Volley app now by searching Volley Racket in your app store. For more information, visit getvolley.com. Get started. We will see you all next season.
So 4-1 Nunez Powers moving at their pace. A quick update on the other court for those that have switched over here to watch this match. Durant and Mitchell lost the first set against Regalado and Salazar 6-3. And Regalado and Salazar are up 4-1 in the second set.
And I tell you what, Anthony, as much as I don't want to say it after calling that match earlier, those guys, we came up with some new terminology earlier. That's lockdown 101. Those guys, they're just locked in, man.
Wow, did you see that series of forehands? I think Powers is in the groove. 3 in a row, maybe 4.
And watch this. There's no backswing.
There's no backswing.
It's just, and the ball, when it hits your paddle, is lightning fast. And, you know, with that full Western grip that he uses too, I mean, there's so much paddle head speed, Anthony. If your hands are not in front of you, the ball's just going to...
It crushes your paddle. Yep.
Exactly. And you see Nunez on that deuce side trying to sneak up the line. That's what he does really well. He'll do it, and he'll do it well. And that backhand he hits from above his shoulders, straight down, and then he blitzes behind it. So I think that's the play. The play here from Nunez and Powers is Nunez backhand, Powers forehand.
There it is.
Just like that.
And Nunez will hit a few forehands himself.
Oh, of course.
He spotted that one perfectly down the line, cross court.
That was actually a great get by Arraya. That ball was coming out quick and tight.
They forced a number of lob errors out of McNerney and Arraya here. It's probably 4 or 5 so far, and you know, maybe they're just thinking there should be a way to get that ball over Nunez's head, and maybe they're thinking too deep.
I just think that 3.5 hour grind takes it out of you.
Yeah.
I mean, those aren't errors they make.
That's probably more accurate.
I haven't seen McNerney miss lobs long in the last 10 matches I've called. If anything, short, but it doesn't matter because the screens are behind you.
There's another missed lob. $15.40. There's the chip and charge. Oh, and that one stays in. What a great get there by Nunez. Stepped slightly backwards, thinking it was going, and he was still able to catch up to it.
So, Anthony, what do you do here? You come off a 3.5 hour match. You jump into this. What do you do to, I mean, obviously they're down 5-1. Tough to come back from here giving up, but what do you think? I mean, make them earn this set, right?
Yeah, I hate to sound, cliche, but it's 5-1. How long have we been online here? So it's definitely moving too fast for the score. You win fast, lose slow. So yeah, they're still getting their feet underneath them from maybe the last match. I don't know. It's staying the points long enough to switch the momentum.
Exactly. So even if you lose this first set, you go into the second with a little mo, and make them fight. Make it be 6-3, make it be 6-4. I don't know, but the momentum in paddle changes a little slower than other sports, and even if you lose a set, you still come into the second set with that momentum that's so important.
And so I couldn't agree more. And we saw that with on the women's semifinal side with Halbauer and Nicolescu, where they were getting beat in the first set. And we had the same conversation. If you can get some momentum towards the end of that first set, so you feel like you still can win and you're on the right direction, you don't want to lose the first set and then come out 2 games slow in the second set. And having that momentum is super important. So yeah, you're never write off a set in paddle, but you might say, okay, well, we just need to make sure we're playing a couple of good games towards the end of this so that we're ready to go for the next set.
And I think McNerney and Arraya need to dial into what was so successful for them in Chicago, which was slow. When they got to in these situations in the match, when they were playing fast, they slowed it down and completely changed the momentum several times, not just one match, but 2 or 3 matches. They haven't done that yet. But, Powers and Nunez are good at playing fast, and that's what's going on here. I mean, the errors aren't coming from their side. And to be honest, too, Anthony, I mean, McNerney and Arraya, the reason they're so good is because McNerney lobs so well and lets Juan be Juan when that team's most vulnerable. So he lobs to the right spots, creates these big spaces to drive that are high percentage. But pressing too early is...
Well, the patience there for Powers and Nunez really it paid off with McNerney, forcing McNerney to really probably do something. You could see he shrugged his shoulders, didn't really want to take that drive, but did it, and not really his favorite shot to take there.
And let's talk about Nunez a little bit. I mean, his first year on the tour, I mean, he played the B draw in Montclair first term of the year, right?
Yes. Yeah,
I was there with you. I mean,
and we talked.
Unprecedented.
Yeah, we talked about him and the other 2 guys on the other court, Regalado and Salazar. And they're kind of all in this same generation. They all pretty much started playing together. I think a handful of them, they play together on a regular basis. And their learning curve has broken all the rules in paddle tennis. If you've been a pro, or if you've been around the sport, you're always like, these guys are great tennis players. They'll be good in 2 years, or they'll be good in 3 years after they figure it all out. And these guys have done it in 1 season. It's amazing.
So this is the combo I was talking about in warm-up. Crushing balls. Let's see if he takes one here. We might not have to, but... Well, Anthony, these guys, all these guys, Regalado, Salazar, yes, they were on the best soccer team in the world. I mean, they were a great team. And then they just said, let's play paddle.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
I mean, how can they be? I mean, they're just so good, so quick.
There's a kind of slice.
I mean, their names are so good.
They've disengaged Juan from this set. You know, they're playing Graham McNerney in that corner, and you actually I saw more than once in that point Juan just drop his hands to his side, like, I'm bored. And when he gets bored like that, it's dangerous.
Well, the points aren't long enough for Juan to get involved in the right way.
Yeah.
He's not dictating right now, so.
We have a set point here. And there it is. Game, is that right? No, sorry.
40-30.
40-30, that's well.
Another thing to talk about is you see all four of these players, none of them serving underhanded. They're all serving the traditional way.
There's Juan getting involved.
You know, just with a ton of spin where the return's tough. So I think that plays into your mind a little bit too.
There's a couple of faults by Powers this game. You really don't want to give up this game.
Yeah, when you serve underhanded, I mean, it's almost like a neutral serve. I mean, you're eliminating, if it stays low with the topspin, a big return, but it just feels good to hit it overhanded. Doesn't it?
I'm laughing because I agree with you.
Have you ever served underhanded, Anthony?
I have. It's not for me though.
Okay. Just making sure we're on the same page.
Yeah, well, you know me. I have more of a neutral grip, and switching that to a semi-western to get the right spin on there is never my favorite shot.
I think it was kind of a situation where...
mistake by Graham.
Yeah, I think it's just tough right now. I mean, maybe after this first set, hopefully they battle here, but you know,
big hit by Juan.
Big strike. Sometimes after a long match, you know, you and I have played about 10 of them that last 3.5 hours. I mean, it takes you a set to regroup.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I don't think these guys think they're out of this. Yeah, it's 5-1, and they're struggling here. And Juan looks a little, he looks a little flat. But I think they'll come back for the second set. They know what they've been against this wall before. At least Juan has, and McNerney has as well. They're going to come out for the second set, assuming this one goes the other way.
Nunez putting a lot of pressure on McNerney with that spin. I mean, that ball's dying. I mean, McNerney's making it look easy. It's not easy. He's got to have the correct grip. He's got to have the right footwork. I mean, that spin is not easy to deal with.
Wow.
Okay, so Anthony, that's what I was talking to you about in the warm-up that I watched.
That's what he was doing.
Bang, bang, to the deuce side, and then crush it to the side. That's exactly what I was watching in the warm-up.
And that ball was deep.
You're going to see that pattern more and more from Nunez.
Yep.
That's what he was working on in warm-up. I watched him for 10 minutes. He did the exact same thing.
Well, it's an effective sequence. And we have a set point for Nunez and Powers. clearly Powers is no slouch on the overhead. He's got one of the best spins on the overheads as well. But I feel like I'd like to see Nunez hitting more of the overheads into Graham's side, just like you were saying before, to set up that other series. And he has the opportunity to do it, but Powers is creeping over a little bit more to his right, where I think we just have Nunez move a little to his left and keep pounding it over there like this. Just stay there.
You're right. So watch this. There it is. There's the combo.
Yeah, that's the one, and that's the first set. So maybe we'll see more of that as Nunez gets a little bit more comfortable. Okay, end of the first set. We will be right back in just a moment after these messages right here on the APTA YouTube channel, presented by My Paddle. Welcome back to the APTA Tour. We're live from the Country Club, bringing you the 2024 APTA Boston Nationals. We are back here in the semifinals of the men's draw. Win the first set, 6-1 versus Arraya and McNerney. What do you think, Guy? As they're getting ready to play the second set, what has to happen here?
Let me introduce the players real quick, and I'll go through it. I have some thoughts, but on the far side of the court, you have Powers and Nunez. Nunez over to the far left, in the white and the black. Lefty Powers in the red and the black. Juan at the net in the blue and the white, Juan Arraya, and then McNerney serving right now. But it's, I think it's, Anthony, I think it's what we've been saying. I mean, you play that long match in the quarters and have a big win, and it's tough, even after an hour, to bounce back and come mentally more than physically. But I think Juan and Graham, when they've been very successful, they slow it down, and that allows Juan to roam the court and be more aggressive. But things are this tempo does not favor McNerney and Arraya right now.
No, definitely not. And I'd like to see a little bit more bounce in their step as they came out for the second set. Not quite there yet, but that might change.
They're tired.
They're tired. Maybe they are.
I don't blame them. I don't blame them. But what we saw in the last combination of balls, like I mentioned to you before we went on air, I was watching Nunez do a particular pattern in warm-up, and it was 2 balls to the do side and then a complete cutter to the ad side. And I think we're going to see more of that. I mean, should we see it? I don't know. But if you win 5 or 6 free points a set doing that, that's a lot.
So, Guy Moore, as you and I have been chatting away, Regalado and Salazar just beat Durant and Mitchell 6-3, 6-2. That match is over.
Yeah, Regalado, Salazar, not to talk about it now, but those guys are their tempo and their style is here to stay. I mean, those guys just don't miss. I called it. We had a good time with Brad today calling it. It's lockdown 101. I mean, Those guys can do it, It's a lot of pressure.
Great scoop by Mark Powers there.
So what adjustments do you think Arraya and McNerney should make here, Anthony? It's tough to say, but they've got to slow it down.
Yeah, is it a matter of just slowing it down? I don't know. I think they have to figure out the best spot on the court to go against Nunez and Powers. I don't feel like they have like a solid plan on where they're going to put this ball. It's kind of back and forth.
Well, it's interesting because I think Powers' backhand has got to be number one, like that. I like that shot a lot from McNerney. I don't know if I like that from Arraya for that reason right there. But just get settled as a team at the net because they're scrambling around. You see, the more they move at the net,
and that's right. You can see it in that point. The more they're moving back and forth and left and right, the more it creates chaos for their own side. And to their credit, they handle themselves, of course, very well up there. But it's not ideal. They're working really hard. But that's a big start.
For sure.
That's a big point there.
I think that's, 40-30 here.
And that serve was out.
You don't see that much from McNerney. I do believe, Anthony, that Arraya and McNerney need 100% win this first game. I'm stating the obvious, but they do. They gotta have some type of momentum going into the second set.
And yeah, as we talked a little bit about towards the end of the first set, I agree. I think it's super important to get this. Put that first set behind you and don't continue it into the second set, right? You don't want it to start being 7-1, 8-1, 9-1, right? It's not the same set anymore. To get a good first game or two and get back into this set is huge. And I think Powers and Nunez will play the same way for their reason is to keep that momentum on their side of the court and continue to just press down on these guys. So to say, hey, that first set was not an anomaly. We played it. We're going to play the same way, and it's going to go the same way.
But I love this first game from Arraya McNerney. I love them so slowing it down. More at their tempo.
Oh, let cool.
Bad luck. That's just bad luck.
That's bad luck, and you make your own luck sometimes, people say, and I agree. The way they're playing there. Oh, what a shot.
That Powers forehand. All right, watch for the pattern here, Anthony.
Let's see if it happens again. Let's see if.
Watch for the pattern.
Let's see if. Oh, and that ball's not even going to make it. No pattern needed, and that's the first game. This is a tough first game.
It's interesting, too, because Powers and Nunez have cutters off both sides. So you're dealing with the lefty and righty with cutters. Serious cutters. I mean, it just keeps you so off balance, right?
They're going to make you pay for any shot that's right from either side to the deuce court to the ad court.
if you get misfooted either way, you're gonna feel it because your momentum's going left, right when it shouldn't be. I mean, it's a great combo, and Hughes and Powers were the same way, but Nunez has a little bit of a different feel to me. I mean, John Hughes is an absolute stud and national champion with Powers, but Nunez, it's just a little bit of a different look.
Oh, it's definitely a different feel. It's a different look. It's a different dynamic out there. The pace he plays is different.
And the other thing about Nunez is he's from the baseline. He's always a threat to come forward, and his backhand is a huge weapon. All right, watch the pattern. Let's see it.
Backhand, one-handed backhand.
Here we go.
Oh, there's one.
There it is. That's the pattern. Yeah, well.
Pop that one wrong.
He missed the cut on that, but. Good ball to let drop.
Yeah.
Wow.
Smart ball. Wanted no business coming to the net on that one.
Yeah. It's amazing too how quick Nunez is coming from lobbing that to right back to the net. Right?
And he was already back on his way to the net. He is quick.
I mean, fast. Too, I think, Anthony, we're discounting Mark Powers a little bit. I mean, I should rephrase that. We're not discounting him, but I mean, Mark's been around for so long. What, played 4 years at Yale, number one?
Yes.
Tennis?
Yes.
But, I mean, Mark Powers is so versatile to play with so many different people, too. I mean, Nunez won his first tournament this year in Montclair in the B draw. And now he's playing with Mark Powers.
Well, yeah, I know sometimes I agree. We're not discounting Mark Powers, but he is. There's very few guys. Wow, what a move! There's very few guys that can control courts. Right? You have roles, and there's guys that play, the offensive game, and there's guys that play the support game. And Mark Powers, arguably one, if not the top three best players out there in that offensive style, and he could probably win with a bunch of different guys.
It's just interesting when you think it, and I was thinking about this today too, that especially on the men's side, and the women's side too, over the past few years.
There comes McNerney, but lob is out, and now it's starting to show. They've had quite a few out lobs.
Players,
some frustration.
Are willing to play with a bunch of different partnerships, and it helps them become better players. I mean, how many tournaments have Nunez and Powers played together?
This is their second.
Exactly, and they're in the semifinals of the national.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What do you mean?
So, and to that point, exactly to that point, I think this season specifically, there were so many different combos of partnerships. Nunez Powers, most notable. There were 11 different partnerships have won 14 different titles this season.
Right.
11 partnerships, exactly. 14 titles. Yeah. So there you go.
And on the ladies' side, too, I think you're starting to see the diversity of it as well. I mean, I think it's healthy for the game.
It is, and it's healthy for your game. It's healthy for, you only, and that's why McNerney's game has probably been on such a drastic curve upward over the last many years. He knows how to play with just about everyone and succeed. And you said it earlier. He can.
Yeah,
he's the chameleon.
chill.
he can change his game to support any player out there. It's a huge credit.
So here we are. Anthony. 3-love in the second set. Nunez follows up 6-1. 3-love. I'll tell you about one of our great sponsors, Santo Tequila, helmed by Sammy Hagar and Guy Fieri. Santo Agave Forward Additive-Free Tequila is made for those who believe that life is best when it's lived out loud. That makes me want to have a little tequila.
Well, Santo Tequila here, I think we had some special drinks that were being served last night, a couple of tequila cocktails. I didn't have one myself, but I saw a lot of people walking around with them and enjoying them quite a bit. So thank you, Santo, for sponsoring.
And I mean, anybody that's sponsoring with Sammy Hagar, let's go.
And I'm a huge fan of Diners, Drive-In, and Dives with Guy Fieri, so he's one of my favorites as well.
Why? Because my first name's Guy?
Yes. There are not many guys out there. So as we suspected, if this set took off in this direction, it might be unrecoverable at this point. Never count Arraya out and McNerney, but they still look a little flat-footed. They don't quite have the energy they need, and I haven't really seen a strategy change. So
yeah, they haven't slowed the match down enough, and they can do it, but they just have to buy in and say, hey, we're going to play another 2.5 hours to win this match. I mean, that's what it's going to take to win it. Because Nunez and Powers are basically controlling all the tempo and hitting their spot. And there's just a couple errors that you don't see from McNerney and Arraya. So. But you watch this right here. I mean, you did not ever see that from McNerney.
So, Guy, we still have a big event coming up on the horizon here. I'm not sure if you've been keeping an eye on it, but the men's and women's team nationals is happening on April 6th and 7th. The women's location is going to be in Chicago. Last year it was in New Jersey, and the men's was in Chicago, and this year they swap. The men will be in New Jersey. It's open to all PTI levels. Registration is still open. Teams must be made up of 6 players or more. And my host club, the Indian Trail Club, will be a satellite club. We have 10 courts there. We're supporting the men's team, so shout out to Indian Trail and all my peeps over there at Indian Trail working with these tournaments.
Wow.
It's going to be an interesting day. It was met with tremendous success in 2023. I think there were over 400 women participating and 350 men participating, and it's going to be similar this year, if not more highly attended. Nunez looking to end the point a little more quickly there. He's on the net. He's looking for it. 15 all. Oh, sorry. 30-15. Do expect some weather coming through here tonight, so we're hopeful that this match will finish before the rain starts. Keeping our eye on the scheduling. Right now the men's final is still scheduled to go off at about 1 o'clock tomorrow, but we're keeping that open a little bit just to see how the storm comes through. Seeing a little bit more patience here from Juan and
they had no choice but to slow it down.
And Graham, but I still don't see, they're lobbing. I don't see a purpose, though. It doesn't look like neither of them look like they're looking for opportunities to get offense here, so slowing it down without purpose, we'll see.
Yeah, I think McNerney, what he does so well is lobs the ball much more down the line like that. That moves the ball. I mean, McNerney and Arraya rely on McNerney setting up Arraya's energy, so we just haven't seen that much so far.
Yeah, and Juan, he looks a little slower too. He looks slower, and we've said it. Maybe it's still a result of that last match, but he's certainly not looking to. I mean, you can tell if I'm back there and I'm Mark Powers and I see where Juan is positioned on the court, I'm not worried about where I'm hitting my overhead because he's not right. Presenting any threat to me at the moment.
Exactly, he's 3 feet behind the baseline, no doubt. And these guys are up a set and 3-love. I mean, I still think they'll play to win. But I actually think, too, Anthony, that you said it earlier, I like Nunez hitting a few more overheads like this because his lefty cutter hurts Graham more than Powers' cutter.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking as well. I think if Nunez is hitting these balls, they will give themselves more opportunities to do that 1-2-3 combo that you mentioned earlier, right? So in this configuration with Powers hitting to Juan, you just don't see the potential as much. As good as his overhead is, I think Nunez is having more success creating chaos over there.
With Powers and Nunez, I mean, they want to go dagger time. I mean, let him go 1, 2, 3. I mean, that combo is big. See, like that, I think that should be Nunez's overhead.
Yeah, that's what I think as well. But that strategy worked for that point. And he's got 40-15 Nunez Powers. No, it's not 40-15. It's 40-30.
Like that one I like. Let's go too hard at McNerney. Boom. Yep. See, that's the overhead they need to have. Nunez has some serious RPMs.
Yes, for what it's worth, we see faster results when Nunez is hitting those overheads.
Yeah, it's just got more spin on it than Powers. I mean, it's hard to say. It's so good.
I know. Well, we always say whenever we're commentating these matches, it's all relative terms, right? So Mark Powers has a better overhead than 99.5% of us, but in the moment, Nunez's overhead, I think, is more effective.
Well, listen. I don't want to give you, as much as I love you, I don't want to give you too much credit, but the lefty overhead and paddle is so much, if you're going to put spin on it, so much more effective than the righty. You concur?
Yes, I think there's something there. I think it's something there. Just not only the spin itself. It's just there's fewer lefties in the game, so it's just a look that's always a little bit different.
Yep. I think everyone would agree with that.
And a little luck doesn't hurt.
So 6-1 for love, Nunez Powers. Would you have scripted this?
No, I would not. At least that gives Juan a little bit of energy, but as necessary, you try not to feed into Juan. You know, Juan loves that shot, and if you notice, Powers and Nunez, they just turned around, walked away, and kind of took the air out of the shot. You don't want to get Juan on a roll. Wow, that was an aggressive step forward for Nunez. I don't know how he handled that ball. That's going to be he almost made that dig. Okay, so a little bit more dynamic play there. That's a heck of a 1-2 punch there, though, too. But Nunez Powers, 4-1 on the board.
In collaboration with the APTA, Fusion is at the forefront of personalized gear and apparel. Backed by a team of seasoned industry experts, we provide exclusive access to high-end products from top-tier retail brands. All poised for customization with your club logo, team name, or corporate branding. Our streamlined approach guarantees a hassle-free shopping experience, complemented by custom online storefronts and swift ordering. Visit www.gearbyfusion.com and let Fusion seamlessly weave your branding into elite merchandise.
So was that one game there? Is that enough to breathe some life in? It actually does look like those last couple of points have created a little bit of energy.
Well, it's got to start somewhere, Anthony. So yeah,
it does or it doesn't. It does or it doesn't. It is though.
6 love, 4 love. Yeah, I mean it's better than being down 5 love. But you know, McNerney and Arraya are capable of pulling this off. They've done it before, and they can get into that mode where they just play very smart paddle. I think it revolves around McNerney.
Yes.
Because if he lobs better, like that lob, and eliminates some of the offense in terms of overheads, then Juan gets his looks. Like, there you go again. I love that lob. Bad luck for McNerney. I think Powers and Nunez should really solidify this. Should just let Nunez hit most of the overheads because that scheme is very effective.
Yeah.
He's generating a ton of spin and offense on that overhead. Wow.
Second cutter.
Great shot.
Second cutter in 2 games for once. He's not
and
done yet.
You don't want to give Arraya momentum. And you know what? That's how it happens. Because
that's how it happens for him, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. those quick spin shots. I mean, that's what builds momentum for McNerney and Arraya.
That ball goes out. 30-all. You feel like this is a must-win game here for Arraya McNerney?
And you notice, too, the better teams these days, when they have a ball like that driven through the middle, they're not reaching for it anymore. They're just letting it go through because off the back screen creates transition. It's not going to hurt them. There's no angle.
Mark visceral scream after missing that drive. That's his favorite shot, and it was actually in the place he probably likes it most. So he's a little upset with himself.
Yeah, it's a tough one to hit. Would you agree when someone's on their front foot hitting an overhead, that no need to be thinking about offense?
Right. And I can't tell you how many times I talk about that when we're teaching, and making sure you're taking the steps backward so that you're moving forward and hitting your overheads off your front foot.
So Anthony, that's what Nunez hasn't done much all match.
He's been quiet.
And he loves that move.
And there he's creeping in again on that one.
I think Powers, Nunez go with Nunez hitting most of the overheads here. They should. They're not yet. A little confusion there. They haven't talked about it, but you can see it. They've won this. They've won the match so far, not talking about it. But let's go. There you go. There's the combo. The one.
And that was a great get by Juan. That ball.
Two. There we go. Going to wait till he gets the right one to turn it. This is good from Powers and Nunez. If there's a short ball, Nunez will cut it over towards Arraya. It's interesting, too, how this partnership came to be. I mean, it wasn't that long ago, right?
Yeah, I wonder how that phone call or how that pairing happened.
Right. I mean, they haven't. I mean, I know they played a pro flight tournament down in Navasink a couple weeks ago. But they have not played that much together during the semis and nationals, looking to go to the finals. And keep in mind, I'm just going to repeat myself, Nunez played the Montclair tournament and won the B draw. He couldn't get into the A draw.
He couldn't get in. Who did he play with on that? Do you remember?
I don't even know if it matters. But
yeah, I think if you would have asked him at Montclair if he thought he was going to be standing next to Mark Powers in the semifinals of the Nationals, what do you think he would say?
I actually think he might have said yeah. To be honest with you.
Sure, why not? I'm ready.
Well, why wouldn't he?
Yeah. Well, that's the mindset you have to have.
I mean, you don't get this good in 4 or 5 months. I mean, you know it already, but it's, again, all kidding aside, I mean, the number of players that are in this part of the Nationals that haven't played a lot of paddle proves to all of us that the fact is these guys learn quick, and they benefit. I said it earlier on air. They have the benefit of watching matches and watching players and teams, and they're smart. They come up with schemes and they figure it out.
Nunez wasn't expecting to hit that volley or whatever that was. He left his paddle there for a while. Wow, great.
Just a big game here.
It is.
Obvious.
Well, this is exactly what we said, Guy, right? We were talking about slowing down the game, but slowing it down with a little purpose. And you see that. This point has gone on, I don't know, 60, 70, 80 hits already. But I do feel like McNerney and Arraya are actually looking for shots to hit now. They're patient with their lobs.
Well, I would say to you that McNerney and Arraya, this is their style of play that they wanted to be playing from the beginning, but I mean, you just don't see McNerney miss lob like that. I mean, he hasn't in a long time. But
and those points are tough when you play such a long, patient point and you end it with a miss hit or a missed lob to bring it to 35.
And we were saying in the previous on-air stream, I mean, it's not the tough balls. I mean, these guys are all so amazing. It's not the hard balls they're missing. It's a lob long like that. All right, let's see if Powers and Nunez settle in here and let Nunez hit overheads.
Second lob long in this game. See where McNerney sat up for that shot. He had 1 foot in the green and 1 foot in the blue, waiting for Powers to drive. That ball never came.
And it's interesting, too. I mean, Nunez and Powers just look so comfortable together, too, right?
They do. They do. They look like they've been playing together for a long time. And that's Nunez's demeanor is every time I've seen him play is a chance to play with him down at Canoe Brook. We did a little pro flight thing down there not too long ago, and he looks like it's just how he plays.
How was your demeanor?
My demeanor was fantastic, but my results against him were not fantastic.
Just checking in.
Yeah, I played against Nunez and Salazar with Daniel Tarintinov, and we had a lot of fun. But it was
good. All right, here we are, Anthony. 6-1, 5-2. Nunez against Arraya and McNerney. What can Juan and McNerney do here to change anything? They got to make them play.
Yeah, it felt like they were headed in the right direction the last couple of games, right? They won 2 out of the last 3 games before that, and it was a mix of patience and some more offense. And it still feels like Juan's a little flat-footed. He's not moving as much as he usually does. He's not creating any chaos, right? You can tell Powers and Nunez feel very comfortable at the net. They haven't looked out of step the whole match. And usually Juan's great at that. He's great drop shot. He took everything off that ball. Nunez.
I tell you what, Nunez such a great court sense. I mean, watch this. I mean, he's dropping, knowing the ball's going to come back, and knowing where he's going to drop the next ball. I mean, he's got such a great court sense. All right, we're 2 points away here.
Double match point. Game, set, match. Guy, I don't know. I felt like they never really had an opportunity to work themselves into the match. Arraya and McNerney, they definitely looked like they may have been impacted by their long previous match. Just didn't see the energy there. What were your final thoughts?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And Powers and Nunez had a great game plan from start to finish. And what a talented team they are, and a new team, and communicating well, had a definitive plan. And, you know, McNerney and Arraya, fantastic team. I mean, they won the charities over Durant and Mitchell, and, you know, it's tough. I mean, that's what happens. You get in these big tournaments and you have a 3.5-hour match. I mean, it's hard to have the energy coming back. So I don't think we go left, right, or center here. We just say, hey, Powers and Nunez were fresh, and, you know, Juan and McNerney a little drained. I mean, that's what I saw.
Okay. Thank you, Guy, and that's a wrap for today. This will be the last streaming match that we have tonight. The schedule changed a little bit. The women's final was scheduled to be around 6:30 or so tonight, but it looks like we're going to err on the side of caution for the weather, and that will be moved to tomorrow morning, followed by the men's final around 1 o'clock. Thank you for joining us, and that's a wrap from Brookline, Massachusetts, the Country Club.
Every day, big decisions are made without full information, overloaded by data, compounded by complexity. Better decisions are made in the light, with clarity and confidence. Aon is in the business of better decisions.
Nantucket.
South Africa.
I would say it's Croatia. People are really nice there and it's really beautiful.
I would probably try and stash that money or give it away somewhere, otherwise it's going to mess up my life, like they say if you won the lottery.
A house. I don't know.
I would invest the money.
Love is blind.
I think you're deceitful. How?
100% my guilty pleasure.
Definitely Love is Blind.
Tell me that he was one of your strongest connections.
You never told me it was Izzy.
It's so bad that it makes it good.
Oh, this is dodgy. I have to watch Bachelor or one of those shows with my wife. I don't even know which one.
Espresso martini.
Gin and tonic. Margarita.
Tequila soda. Always.
What I love most about the volley machine is I can come down here and work on my game when I can't find friends.
Volley and I have been dating for several months now, and things are getting pretty serious.
My favorite thing about the volley trainer is to be able to work on the target, contact window, and tool all in my vision.
My favorite shot with the volley trainer is the push volley.
I really love the video feature of the volley machine. It has really helped me improve.
I'm not sure this is a story, but no one really paid attention to, in Boston, no one was really paying much attention to paddle on the national scene. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I mean, and this surprised everyone, not just Boston, Johan is a 16 seed, wins nationals, and all of a sudden people in Boston are paying attention, like,
we have a national champion who plays in our league, and then all of a sudden other really good rackets players, pros, start paying attention, and paddle just sort of took off from there, and that was because that was the Johan effect in Boston.
Johan he's kind of like the Tiger Woods, in my opinion, of our sport. And to watch him play and to pick up the nuances of how he's almost like the conductor, the way he controls a match.
No one has done more than you to transform the sport into the incredibly athletic, fast-paced, exciting game that we have today. So on behalf of the APTA Board of Directors and myself, one of your many, many fans on and off the court, I want to congratulate you for your induction into the Platform Tennis Hall of Fame.
Congratulations on your Hall of Fame induction, so well deserved. It's been a pleasure watching you from the chair. One match that really stands out is that final in the rain in New Jersey where you just took over, your serves were hitting nicks, hitting skitters everywhere.
Johan, honestly, most people don't know. They think that you're super talented and that you're great and that you're a natural, but we all know how hard you work off the court.
What is one word you could use to describe Johan Durant?
Tenacious. Go explosive.
Aggressive.
A ninja.
The best.
On behalf of the entire Boston League, we couldn't be more proud about your induction to the Hall of Fame. Well done.
Big congratulations, Johan. A well-deserved honor. And the greatest thing about Johan is not only a great player, but even a better guy. Look forward to watching you play for many more years and hopefully winning many more national titles.
Bravo, Johan! Congratulations on your APTA Hall of Fame induction. Man, we go way, way back from the crazy trips in Africa, now in the APTA Hall of Fame. Thank you for your contribution to the game of paddle. You deserve all of this and more, my guy.
Hey, brother, just want to congratulate you on the induction to the Hall of Fame. Really pumped for you. Awesome career. So much fun to see how you've changed the game. Glad that I could be a small part of it. And let's try and keep it rolling this weekend.
Congratulations, Johan, on the induction into the Platform Tennis Hall of Fame. Back in 2010, I was first-hand witness of the coming out party of the Big Cat in Philadelphia. Congratulations, well deserved.
Congratulations, Johan Durant, for being inducted in the Hall of Fame. You definitely deserve it. Probably the greatest of all time who has played this sport. Congratulations.
Enjoy your, I guess, just Hall of Fame status because you'll be playing and we'll be seeing you soon.
You've come a long way. You've had incredible success, and in all sincerity, I'm incredibly proud of you as a player, incredibly proud of you as a person, and I'm honored to consider you a good friend. Congratulations again, and I wish you the best of luck this season and in all seasons to come.
Surreal, I guess, like everybody else would say, but I don't know, we didn't expect, though, especially me, I don't know about Jerry. I didn't even expect to get close to the final, so I'm real surprised.